This week, we talk about some of the latest things happening over at Marvel with Daredevil, Avengers, Doomsday, and all kinds of other rumors and news. We talk about some great news and not so great news over with DC. We talk about a ton of new trailers coming out, such as Doctor Who Season 2, and The Walking Dead Dead City Season 2, Toxic Avenger, and all kinds of other stuff elsewhere out there in the pop culture universe, and a whole lot more. Welcome to the Infinite Taylorverse. Warning.
Red alert.
Danger, Will Robinson! Danger!
That's the emergency alert. This episode is full of spoilers for some of the latest and greatest nerdy movies and shows.
Spoilers.
Listener discretion is advised. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Infinite Taylorverse podcast. I'm Billy Taylor.
I'm Taylor Oxner.
And we are back to the regular scheduled programming to talk about some of the things that's been going on out there in the pop culture universe. But before we jump in, what have you been nerding out about this week, man?
This week, Lauren and I last night went to a concert. We got to see Anne Boleyn and Copeland in the Dangerous Summer play.
Nice.
And there's like three of our favorite bands. So it was cool. They played like certain albums like all the way through, which was really neat. But yeah, that's what I've been nerding out about.
That is cool. It's funny because that genre of music wasn't always my thing, but in college, those two bands, Copeland and Amberlin, were definitely the two I listened to of that genre.
Yeah.
And flipping through social media last night and this morning, a lot of my friend group from different areas of my walks of life were all there. So I think that's pretty funny and interesting.
Oh, yeah, that is interesting.
But cool. I guess my nerding out has to be Planet Comic-Con. I got to meet a handful of cool people, but man, David Tennant, getting to meet him was so cool. He was very charming, funny guy, and he didn't seem like he was putting on, a face for a crowd. He just seemed like he was being himself and having a good old time.
I'm surprised he does cons.
Oh, I know. I don't think he does many, and I think the ones he does do are mostly over in the UK. So this was kind of a rare treat that he came over here for this.
Yeah, that is so cool.
Yeah. And then got to meet, Alex Kingston, who plays River Song. And it was really cool meeting Mike Coulter, who played Luke Cage on, Jessica Jones and the Luke Cage show. And I asked him, hey, man, we going to see Luke again? And he was like, man, I can't answer that. It was so funny. Yeah, I got some pops signed and got to meet Andy Serkis, Gollum and Caesar the Ape and Ulysses Claw. And yeah, he was such a cool dude too. And all these interactions, they're so fast. You don't really get to know these people, but it's cool when they're very kind and generous with their words during those moments. And yeah, it was like a really good time.
It's awesome.
But let's see. Let's go ahead and jump right into the news. This week with Marvel. So Taylor and we're kind of at different areas of Daredevil. So we'll kind of jump into the details of the show next week. But I do want to say that this week on Marvel's official social media page, they very cryptically posted a panel from the Daredevil comics. And the panel from the page was from an issue where Foggy faked his death and went into witness protection. And we're like, all right, Marvel, official Marvel social media, why are you posting this? Like, we know that actor's going to show up in season 2, but I assumed flashbacks. So do you think there's any legs to stand on with a theory that he maybe had to fake his death for some reason?
No. I feel like that would be really stupid to do that. I think that would take the whole impact out of it away.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe I'm being cynical here, but
they could just be trolling us hardcore.
Which would kind of make me a little bit like, oh, I don't like this series as much now.
Right. Yeah. So I wonder what the heck did they post that panel from that page
Not
for?
that I want Foggy to be dead. That's like not what I'm saying.
No, yeah. It was such an impactful thing for it to not really be the truth. That'd be kind of weird.
It would be just like kind of, I don't know. It would be like killing Superman off the first time, like in the comics, and then bringing him back like within a month
right? Not a
instead
whole year
of
later.
like a full year later. I don't know.
Yep. So I guess before the next year or so, we might see what the heck is up with that. We know the character Muse is showing up in the show, and a few facts on the outside of the show. It sounds like the showrunner said Muse is going to be a multi-season threat to both Daredevil and Kingpin.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see what that's all about. And another thing floating out there said that season two, there's a big rumor that season two is going to focus on Matt Murdock assembling his own street level team. So again, are we going to be seeing the Defenders again?
I mean, it's not the only team he's been on.
Yeah, that's true. I hope, like, at some point, I hope it's all been lies, lies, lies. I want to see him team up with Spider Man.
Yeah. I think it'd be more of like a maybe I don't know. It could be Defenders, I guess. I'm not sure about all that.
Yeah. But knowing the show's already been greenlit for season two, and it sounds like it's on its way to season three, it could be all kinds of stuff. And I'm kind of excited to see what it turns out to be.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's see. We know that Thunderbolts is coming real soon. It's going to be here in about a month and a half. They just released the official runtime, and it's going to be exactly 2 hours.
Huh. A little bit
And
shorter.
yeah. And then a few things about Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. So Elizabeth Olsen was just in an interview, and she said, do not expect her to show up in any future Avengers movies. If you go on to read the whole interview, she makes it sound like she personally is just kind of done with all the Marvel stuff and wants to go in a creative direction that's different. So that's kind of a bummer for anyone that might be looking forward to seeing that character again.
Okay.
But on the flip side, I know these people and money talks. So if they offer the right amount, that'll be perfect. Another rumor that is involved with Doomsday and Secret Wars, it sounds like She-Hulk is going to be showing up. And what's making people say this is there's a con happening in the UK, and Tatiana Maslany was a guest that was going to be there. But at the same time as that movie was just announced to begin filming is during that same con, and she canceled for acting purposes that she didn't disclose. So that's making people think, maybe she's going to show up in this Avengers movie.
Well, I would hope so.
Yeah. I hope we see all kinds of Hulk characters show up and
Not
Scar and
Yeah, not everyone hated that show.
yeah, we didn't hate that show.
Not at all.
It's kind of goofy to hate it for the reasons people are saying they hate it.
Yeah.
And then let's see, we know that Charlize Theron showed up in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness at the very, very end as the character Clea. And it sounds like she will also be showing up for the first time again in Avengers Doomsday.
Okay.
And then the final Marvel thing, we know that Shang-Chi 2 is happening at some point, but there was just a big rumor floating out there this week that the movie is going to focus on and introduce the characters called the Agents of Atlas, as well as Iron Fist is going to show up in this movie.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I hope that's true. And I also wonder if they're going to deviate from the Iron Fist we know from Netflix, or if they're going to use the same guy, or who knows what they're going to do.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they could get somebody different, but that's just me.
Yeah. Over with DC, it sounds like they're about to finally release a full-length trailer for Superman, and it's supposedly going to come at the front of the new Minecraft movie that comes out April 4th. So we're just a couple of weeks away from possibly getting a full-length trailer for that movie, and I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, me too.
For fans of the early 2000s show Smallville, anyone who are fans of those guys have been listening to the updates that we might be getting a Smallville animated sequel series with the majority of the original cast. And, Michael Rosenbaum, Tom Welling, they have a podcast. They go to cons. They've been hyping this up for years, years, even currently hyping it up. Having said that, Alfred Goff, who is the co-creator of Smallville, he says that this anticipated animated series is not going to happen due to the new DCU. And I don't know. Even after he said that, Michael Rosenbaum was like, no, I'm pretty sure it's going to happen. So I don't know. That's something I've been looking forward to. I love that show. And ever since they started talking about it, I thought that was such a cool idea because you can pick up right where it left off and no one looks any older in a cartoon.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope we get that. I hope we get it and that'll be awesome.
Yeah, we'll see.
So another interesting tidbit, we all know the Batman movie with Robert Pattinson and Colin Farrell did such a great job as the Penguin. And then we had that Penguin series that just wrapped up recently. Well, it sounds like somewhere else in the DCU, they've asked Colin Farrell to play Sergeant Rock in a Sergeant Rock-centric movie. And it sounds like this is actually a reality, and I think that's pretty interesting.
Well, it's not. You can tell he's a penguin.
Exactly. It's really cool that he looks nothing like himself when he's the Penguin, so he could do something like that.
Yeah. Well, it'd be like if Vin Diesel played a different character
For Marvel,
besides
yeah.
Groot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like for a while, people wanted him to play Black Bolt. I thought he would have been a good Black Bolt, but
Oh
it's just
yeah,
me.
I could totally see that. But yeah, that'll be cool to see a Sergeant Rock movie with Colin Farrell. He'll do a great job. Oh, over in the DC Comics, there's a new miniseries coming out called The New History of the DC Universe. And basically, they're taking all the history from its origins nearly a century ago to all the changes that have happened. And it's going to have the newest Barry Allen basically running through time and narrating this whole history of the DC Universe and all of its many changes. And when I read about that, I thought that sounded pretty cool. And I'm kind of excited to read those.
Yeah, that might be interesting or really dry. One of the two.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll see. Over with Star Wars, not a lot of news other than just announcing again, we're really close to Andor Season 2. It comes out April 22nd. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Now, all the other random places out there in the pop culture universe, they just released a trailer for Season 2 of the newest Doctor Who. It looked really awesome. It shows the new companion, it shows all kinds of new stuff happening. And then that show's going to premiere April 12th on Disney Plus. Now, there wasn't a trailer, but there were a lot of new set photos dropped for season 5 of The Boys, and the photos looked pretty interesting.
It show's just interesting.
Oh,
It's
go
the
ahead.
last season, right?
This will be the final season, yeah. It had a lot
Okay, I
of
thought.
Homelander pictures, and then it had Homelander wearing street clothes pictures, and then it had, the kid that's his son wearing a Homelander looking outfit. So,
Ugh.
some pretty interesting photos.
Yeah. Can't believe it's the last season, but I think it'll be interesting how they wrap everything up.
I know. And it sounds like they're going to keep doing more in the whole, Vought centric universe. They're just going to be going back to that. What was that show? The other show, the college show called?
Oh, Generation V.
Yeah, Gen V or
I love that.
whatever.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that show.
I think we're going to be getting more of that and maybe even some other stuff like the prequel that focuses on Soldier
Yeah,
Boy.
I heard there was also supposed to be like a cartoon.
And yeah, I heard
Again,
about
another
something animated.
cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the main series is kind of done, but we're still getting a lot of stuff from that universe.
Yeah, it's like The Walking Dead now.
Same thing, yeah. The Walking Dead. So, The Walking Dead Dead City season 2 is coming out pretty soon, and they actually just dropped a trailer for that this week, and that's going to premiere on May 4th. And for anyone who hasn't really seen that series,
That's not very Star Wars of them.
yeah. For anyone who hasn't seen that series, this is the one where Negan and Maggie have to put aside their differences and team up. Yeah, it was pretty rough at first. And then, oh, I don't know. It came out about a week ago. Have you had a chance to see that full trailer for the new Toxic Avenger movie?
Okay, so I saw a trailer for it forever ago and then it got taken down.
Uh-huh.
So I haven't seen the new one since that.
Yeah, that one a little while back. It didn't really show Toxie. It showed just his silhouette. But this
Yeah,
new
yeah.
trailer completely shows him and his radioactive mop. He literally goes in this place full of bad guys and he swings it at this bad guy and literally the bottom of his jaw falls off to the ground and his eyes get real big and he starts screaming and it's one of those red band trailers for sure.
That's amazing.
And Peter Dinklage, man, you can't tell it's Peter Dinklage other than his height. He's done up crazy.
Yeah, see the bad guy in it?
Well, he's Toxie. He's the Toxic Avenger.
Wait a minute. He's not a full-grown person?
No, it's Peter Dinklage.
I don't think I realized that
Yeah,
or knew that.
it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be insane.
That's nuts. Okay.
Let's see. In Lego news, I feel like we even recently talked about this. Lego formerly did not own the rights to Pokemon themed characters. It was Mega Bloks. But Lego announced on their social media, they dropped a video showing this Pikachu looking Lego thing, basically just to announce that they've obtained the rights to Pokemon. And starting in 2026, a whole bunch of Lego Pokemon themed sets are going to come out.
Poor Mega Bloks. They
Right?
can't. They can't win. I think the last successful thing they really had was like Halo, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think you're right. And my
Those
son,
are,
who is obsessed with Pokemon, has a ton of these Mega Block Pokemon sets. So yeah,
I bet those will be worth something someday now that it's switched to Lego.
yeah, it could be. Let's see. Over with Star Trek, I don't know about you, but I've loved all these new series they've been pumping out. They've put out a lot of cool stuff, and I've really loved the Star Trek Strange New Worlds series. I loved their crossover episode with the Lower Decks series and their, much to maybe Taylor's dismay, their musical episode, which made full sense in the episode. But
It's just if it's like an episode, it's not too bad for me. I know in like a musical episode I do like if a show is Even Stevens influenza episode.
uh huh.
That one's a musical I don't mind.
Yeah, and the Star Trek Strange New Worlds musical episode, there was this wave that just waved through space and it hit the Starship Enterprise and it focused on they were listening to this replicated jukebox full of, classic Earth music. And it just kind of waved through the whole ship and it turned everything into that music they were listening to. And by the end of the episode, it made sense and they figured out how to get rid of it. But I loved that episode so much. I totally listened to the songs on Spotify every now and again.
Oh my.
But season 4 of Strange New Worlds has began production and it comes out later this year. Pretty excited about that.
That's so cool.
Oh, have you seen some of the new images dropped from the new Mortal Kombat movie?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, Carl Urban is going to
Playing
be
Johnny Cage. I
Johnny
never would have
Cage.
pictured that.
Yeah,
Never in a million years would have pictured that.
not at all, but I'm kind of excited for it.
Yeah, he'll do good. I was just expecting someone a little bit more obnoxious, honestly.
Right? Or maybe even a little younger.
Yeah.
But it's going to be awesome. The picture of Kung Lao, I think, is the character. The picture of him looked really awesome. I don't know. I didn't even know this was coming necessarily. And now that I've seen
I
these
knew
pictures, yeah,
I knew it was after that first one did so well.
yeah, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, I'm excited.
For Disney fans, so my youngest daughter, Georgia, who is now in 3rd grade, when she was little, like 3, 4 years old, like real little, she was obsessed with the movie Coco. We saw that movie about 1,000 times. It hits the heartstrings just about every time. But Disney just announced Coco 2 is going to be coming out in 2029.
Woo!
Yeah. I wonder what they'll do. Is the kid going to have to go back to the underworld or whatever? Who knows? But I really like the first one, and I'm excited to see this one.
Or does the underworld come to him?
Oh, yeah, that's true too. Or maybe it's a time jump and we get new ancestors or something, or new family members, I guess. I don't know.
Eh,
Well, the final thing on my list today, did you see that there is a brand new Power Rangers reboot in the works over with Disney Plus?
no, I didn't.
The same people doing the Disney Plus shows are going to be in charge of rebooting Power Rangers to a slightly more adult oriented audience. But yeah, I'm anxious to see what the heck they do. Do they rehash old stuff? Do they make brand new stuff? Who knows? There's this new comic book series called Power Rangers Prime, and they're about 4 or 5 issues in, and I've been reading it. It's actually really good, but it is a complete reboot with a complete new origin, complete new characters, new powers, new suits. It has nothing to do with anything that came before. Now, there's some familiar names, but it's not the same, if that makes sense.
So it's part of the grid, but not the
Yeah.
main one. I wonder why they call it Prime for, though.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we're going to see.
Maybe this is what they want it to be, like the main universe.
Could be. I wonder if the new show will do that, or if since it's TV with a broader audience, if they're going to just rehash some old stuff but aim it more towards adults. I don't know. Either way,
Yeah, maybe.
we all know I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, I'll definitely peek at an episode or two for sure.
I keep thinking of the injustice that 2017 movie got because I thought that was a fun movie and I wanted a
I like
sequel.
that movie a lot, actually.
Yeah.
And I wanted to see Tommy.
I know there was rumors for a long time that the kid who plays Johnny's son on Cobra Kai was going to be Tommy, and I think that would have been perfect.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I liked the guy who played the name Jason or whatever. He played that what they called him.
Yeah, Jason, the red one.
Yeah, I liked that he looked like
Yeah. He
Zac Efron, but he wasn't Zac Efron.
right. I need to watch that movie with my kids. I don't think I've watched it with them. I think they like it.
I also like Alpha 5, but
Yeah, he looked so different that a lot of people were put off by that, but I liked it. And I really like Bill Hader, so that, didn't hurt that it was voiced by Bill Hader.
yeah.
But yeah, new Power Rangers
I think
coming.
people were bummed out he was so sarcastic.
That's true. Alpha was always pretty optimistic.
Uh-huh.
I did recently go back. It's been a year since it came out and watched that Power Rangers Once and Always movie that came out on Netflix last year.
Oh,
It
yeah.
still hit all the feels, man, all the nostalgic feels.
That's nice.
But hey, that's really all the news this week. As always, you guys, thanks for stopping by and hanging out with us and listening to the news. But as for us here at the Taylorverse, I've been Billy Taylor.
And I'm Taylor Oster.
And come back next week, guys. Same Taylor time, same Taylor channel.
Bye.
Bye.